In the past 2 years, multiple deaths, suicides, and violent incidents have been officially linked, not to drugs, not to cults, but to conversations with artificial intelligence. Psychologists and journalists are now documenting cases where people developed intense paranoia, delusions, or emotional dependency after prolonged interaction with AI chatbots. In some instances, the technology didn't correct these beliefs. It mirrored them. Some experts are calling this phenomenon AI psychosis. This is not a story about science fiction or runaway robots. It's about the human mind, and what happens when technology that sounds human meets vulnerability, loneliness, and belief. Because the most dangerous thing about AI may not be what it thinks, but what it quietly convinces us to believe. Modern AI chatbots are not simple programs responding to commands. They are powered by large language models, systems trained on vast amounts of text to recognize patterns, predict words, and generate responses that sound human. They don't think, feel, or understand in the way humans do, but they are exceptionally good at simulating conversation. So good, in fact, that interacting with them often feels less like using a tool and more like talking to someone who is listening. But this intimacy has sparked growing concern. In recent journalism and psychological discussions, a term has begun to surface: AI psychosis. The phrase refers to situations where prolonged or intense interactions with AI appear to reinforce delusions, paranoia, or distorted beliefs in certain individuals. The AI does not intend harm. It simply mirrors language, affirms emotions, and follows conversational logic. In Greenwich, Connecticut, a former tech executive slowly descended into a world of paranoia. He became convinced that his own mother was conspiring against him, manipulating events behind the scenes. These beliefs didn't form in isolation. According to reporting later cited by the New York Post, they were reinforced during long conversations with ChatGPT, where his fears were not directly challenged, but instead reflected back in ways that appeared to validate his suspicions. Eventually, that distorted reality ended in a fatal family tragedy. And this case is not alone. Wikipedia now documents multiple incidents where teenagers and adults engage deeply with AI chatbots before committing extreme acts. Psychology Today has also reported cases where individuals formed intense, romantic or spiritual attachments to AI systems that perfectly echoed their emotional needs, reinforcing dependency. These are not internet myths or fringe anecdotes. They are part of a growing documented media record and a warning signal we are only beginning to understand. As alarming as these stories are, mental health professionals urge caution and precision. According to the Washington Post, AI psychosis is not an officially recognized diagnosis in any psychiatric manual. There is no formal clinical category for it. But that absence hasn't stopped researchers and clinicians from paying close attention. Psychologists point to a critical design issue. As discussed on the Psychiatry and Psychotherapy podcast, modern AI systems are built to be agreeable, empathetic, and responsive. They are optimized to validate emotions, mirror language, and keep conversations flowing. For most users, this feels supportive. But for individuals experiencing paranoia, delusions, or emotional instability, that same design can unintentionally reinforce distorted thinking instead of challenging it. Researchers were raising these concerns even before the headlines. Editorials published in journals like Schizophrenia Bulletin, including work referenced on Wikipedia by psychiatrist Søren Dinesen Østergaard, warned that chatbots could amplify delusional beliefs in vulnerable populations. To understand how AI can influence the human mind so powerfully, experts point to a simple but dangerous mechanism: a feedback loop. According to analysis reported by News Medical, problems arise when these responses unintentionally affirm a user's existing beliefs. The user returns again and again, asking follow-up questions. Each interaction reinforces the narrative already forming in their mind. Over time, the line between what the machine generated and what is real begins to blur. The AI never corrects the belief, it simply keeps the conversation going. This effect is magnified by something psychologists have known about for decades: the Eliza Effect. Humans instinctively project intention, understanding and empathy onto machines that appear conversational. We treat responses as meaningful, even when no meaning exists behind them. Mental health professionals consistently stress one core principle: AI is not a human therapist. It does not understand context, accountability, or consequence. Safe usage begins with moderation and awareness. AI should support daily tasks, learning, and creativity, not replace human relationships or professional care. For anyone experiencing anxiety, paranoia, or emotional distress, real human connection and qualified mental health support remain irreplaceable. At the design level, changes are already being discussed. As highlighted on the Psychiatry and Psychotherapy podcast, researchers argue for reducing anthropomorphism, the human-like tone, emotional mirroring, and conversational intimacy that can encourage users to over-identify with machines. Stronger safeguards are also needed, particularly systems that detect and avoid validating extreme or delusional beliefs, even when doing so might feel conversationally polite. AI will continue to evolve. The question is whether our understanding and responsibility evolves with it. If you found this video informative, share it and subscribe for more deep dives into technology, psychology, and society. And as always, I'll see you in my next video.